Elbc Newsline. Today is Wednesday, January 28, 2025, and these are our top stories. Government promises stringent measures to support national growth, development, and citizens' dignity. Liberia Airport Authority secures $8 million United States dollar support from the European Union. House divided over proposed resolution seeking to create additional seats in the legislature and away from Liberia. Rwanda seeks €100 million payment from the UK after Prime Minister Keir Summer cancels migration pact. These stories and much more, including sports, the weather report, the news in Liberia, English and French. But first, Crystal and the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has promised to implement stringent measures to support national growth, development, and citizen dignity. These measures, according to the Liberian leader, include a comprehensive review of all concession frameworks to correct historical inequalities and management of the country's natural wealth. The Liberian leader also named the proposed rehabilitation of decayed public structures and the laying out of Monrovia and major cities across the country.
To resolve the long-standing issue of relocating mangrove remains now.
President Boakai promised with immediacy to relocate the Palm Grove Cemetery in an attempt to restore national honor and respect the remains of former presidents. The Liberian leader believes the steps are vital to restoring dignity to public service, safeguarding national assets, and ensuring Liberians receive a fair share of the country's wealth. President Boakai made the remarks Monday when he delivered his annual message to the legislature in Monrovia. President Joseph Boakai says Liberia's election to the United Nations Security Council demonstrates renewed global confidence in the country's leadership. The Liberian leader noted that this historic achievement elevates Liberia's global profile and enables the country to actively contribute to international peace and security. In his third annual message on Monday, the president stated that the Security Council role builds upon Liberia's active engagement in regional bodies, including ECOWAS, Monrovia Union, and the African Union.
This is now prioritize national interest, integrity,
So after
and
the
resolve,
last one, should we-
focusing on tangible benefits and strengthening
Detailing diplomatic successes, President Boakai pointed to strengthened bilateral relations with the United States, evidenced by the extension of visa validity for Liberians. The chief Liberian diplomat reiterated his administration's core foreign policy principles, pledging to continue pursuing a strategy dedicated to promoting peace, prosperity, inclusion, and national pride. At the same time, President Joseph Boakai has outlined economic diplomacy as a central pillar of his administration's agenda, aiming to transform Liberia's global economic engagement. Economic diplomacy is the use of government resources to promote the growth of a country's economy by increasing trade and promoting investment, among others. In his annual message to members of the legislature Monday, President Joseph Boakai said government is ensuring a decisive shift from aid dependence to trade and investment.
education will pursue a foreign policy that promotes peace, prosperity, inclusion, and national pride. Liberia is also set to strengthen its global standing by hosting international meetings.
The Liberian leader disclosed that his administration has engaged over 50 foreign and diaspora investors in priority sectors, including agriculture, energy, and infrastructure. He said Liberia's foreign policy is guided by a firm commitment to the international system, grounded in the United Nations, multilateralism, and international law. The Liberia Airport Authority (LAA) has announced an $8 million United States dollar support from the European Union. The money was made possible through a strong advocacy of Foreign Minister Sarah Besloyanti. The new EU support will go towards upgrading aviation safety, security, and infrastructure, with a major focus on the Rabat International Airport. According to the LAA, the 8 million EU-funded investment will deliver modern runway and taxiway lighting and upgraded air traffic control systems. The money will also be used for new firefighting and emergency response vehicles, improved passenger and baggage screening, and critical repairs to airport infrastructure. The upgrades bring RIA and other airports closer to safe, reliable, and world-class airport facilities the Liberian people deserve. The LAA release quotes Prime Minister Best Loyalty as saying Liberia's airports are key to how the world sees the country. The release noted that EU-Liberia partnership strengthens safety, boosts connectivity, and supports economic growth, tourism, and national development. Members of the House of Representatives are divided over a proposed resolution seeking to create additional seats in the legislature. Some lawmakers argue that the move is not timely, warning it will place added strain on the country's already limited fiscal space. Others, however, contend that expanding the legislature is necessary to ensure equal representation and full adherence to constitutional provisions. Meanwhile, House Speaker Richard Coon has constituted a specialized committee to conduct public hearings and national consultations on the proposal. Speaking, the Speaker Coon said, engaging citizens is essential to promoting transparency, inclusiveness, and national ownership of the process. If adopted, the resolution would increase the number of seats in the House of Representatives from its current 73 to 87. Over 600 social housing units are expected to be constructed by government in February this year. The project, which is expected to be implemented in 6 counties, is intended to address overcrowdedness, insecure conditions, and adequate housing for citizens. President Joseph Boakai made a disclosure Monday when he delivered his annual message to the legislature in Monrovia.
Housing authority will begin building 600 social housing units.
President Boakai, during his address, underscored the strong need to improve citizens' livelihood through the provision of dignified housing units and other basic social services. The housing units, according to the Liberian leader, will be constructed by the National Housing Authority and partners. The Asset Recovery and Property Retrieval Task Force, IREP, on Tuesday held a high-level engagement with the Supervisory Special Agent of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, Christine Chill. The visit marked a significant step towards deepening international collaboration in line with IREP's mandate under Executive Order Number 145. The executive order empowers the task force to work with international partners to trace, recover, and reclaim stolen public assets belonging to the Republic of Liberia. Welcoming Madam Chill, IREP Chairman Councillor Edwin Clamartin outlined the intent, scope, and achievements of the task force, highlighting its progress in holding perpetrators of corruption accountable. He noted that IREP has successfully unsealed 3 major indictments involving more than 60 individuals accused of corruption-related offenses, while actively pursuing 40 additional investigations. Chairman Martin described the engagement as timely and strategic, stating that the visit reinforces IREP's ongoing work and lays a firm foundation for sustained international cooperation in combating corruption and economic crimes. For her part, Madam Christine Chill pledged full collaboration between IREP and United States as well as other international anti-graft institutions. She emphasized that such cooperation would enhance investigative capacity through intelligence, sharing technical support, and targeted training for IREP investigators. Madam Chill further indicated that U.S. agencies, through structured collaboration, would assist AREP in identifying stolen Liberian public assets located abroad and support related investigations. Mainland Group, a Chinese multi-million-dollar company, says it is ready to invest in the agriculture sector of Liberia. Mainland Group Board Chairman Zhou Chen noted that the company will invest logistics and financial services in the cassava and rice sectors of Liberia. According to Mr. Chen, the goal is to help the Liberian government reduce hunger and provide more jobs for citizens. A release said the Mainland Group Board Chairman spoke Tuesday in China during a meeting with Liberia's Agriculture Minister Alexander Nuta. The release noted that Minister Nuta also held similar meeting with authorities of Hunan Province for potential trade cooperation between Hunan Province and Liberia. Lawyers representing the President and National Treasurer of the National Teachers Association of Liberia have filed a bill of exceptions before the full bench of the Supreme Court against the National Executive Committee of NTAL. A bill of information is a written document used in legal proceedings to object to a judge's ruling. It ensures that specific legal errors made during a trial are documented for higher courts. The bill of exception filed was as a result of a ruling against them at the civil law court, where they alleged that Judge Peter Gwenewele committed a reversible error when he ruled ignoring the prayer of their resistance to the motion to freeze accounts. In a six-count motion filed by attorney Michael Colley Jeke through the Primus Law Group, among others, said there has been no selection of any auditing firm since the ruling of both judges Boda and Smith, and the judge committed a reversible error when he ruled freezing the account of the association. Attorney Jeke argued that in fact the NTAL had not violated any order of the court as claimed by the National Executive Committee of NTAL, and after the ruling of Judge Smith, they immediately filed a bill of information and same was never heard. They argued that Judge Boda Elliott earlier ruled, declaring the rights of the National Executive Committee as sole authority to commission audits, but did not order any audit to be conducted. Both Judges Smith and Benewele have reviewed, modified, and rescinded the decision of Judge Boda, citing that a judge of concurrent jurisdiction cannot review the decision of his predecessor. The Environmental Protection Agency has concluded a one-day capacity building training for its task force staff on noise pollution in Monrovia. The training focused on strengthening enforcement of noise pollution regulations. Participants were trained on environmental, health, and social effects of excessive noise, as well as monitoring methods, regulatory standards, and compliance procedures. The session brought together officials from the Pollution Control Center, Monrovia City Corporation, the Ministries of Justice and Health, religious, and other municipal institutions. According to a dispatch, the training also aims to improve interagency coordination and protect public health through effective noise control measures. And the Health Ministry and partners have concluded their annual review meeting in Ganta-Nimba County. The meeting aimed at deliberating on progress made, lessons learned in 2025, and developing a harmonized work plan for 2026 through a multi-stakeholder process. The plan will support the three guiding principles of the ministry's malaria program: one strategic plan, and one monitoring and evaluation plan. The meeting also featured several county-level presentations on updates to malaria intervention, implementations, achievements, challenges, and lessons learned over the review period. A health ministry release said the director of County Health Services, Dr. Lauren Cooper, encouraged participants to explore innovations that will further strengthen the country's efforts to reduce the burden of malaria. Dr. Cooper emphasized that health officers must continue to develop effective ways to address malaria complications in the country. Meanwhile, the program manager of the National Malaria Control Program at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Trokan Washington, lauded Health Minister Dr. Louis Foto for her continued support to the program. Dr. Washington also stressed the need for participants and implementing partners to make the necessary adjustments in their work plans for the coming year. For their part, participants and partner institutions acknowledged the importance of the review process and pledged their commitment to working with the NMC program to ensure the smooth implementation of malaria interventions. The meeting brought together participants from all 15 counties, including county health officers, monitoring and evaluation officers, county malaria focal persons, and county diagnostic officers.
Crystal, when the news